What's going on, guys? MiniKhal here, coming at you with another video. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe down below for more Marvel Strike Force content. This is just going to be kind of a daily playthrough and just kind of what I go through on just a regular basis and just kind of a normal, nothing too crazy. So I've logged in. I've gotten my daily refresh energy. Which for me is between 11 and 2. So I did that. I'm going to go in and pop in my daily campaign energy refreshes. I go up to 20 and then kind of call it a day. So I'll go in, open up some orbs that are needing to be opened. Next thing I kind of go in, I look at the store and see what it is I am looking to buy. So this definitely is great. That'll be for Pimtech. And then other orange gear I look at is if it's, kind of under the 100 mark and it's something that I actively need, I will buy. Kind of the same thing with purple gear. If it's under 100 and it is not a unique, I will go ahead and buy that. And boom, so that's done. Blitz store, not buying anything in Blitz. I just do the orbs, so nothing to buy there. Coming into the raid store, again, farming Thor currently for Black Bolt, and then other stuff is, again, just for either oranges or purples that are under 100 and that are not uniques. And what I mean by uniques is basically these. So these are the items that you'll typically see. It's normally on the left-hand column of gear and that middle one. But anyway, arena, once I do my arena fights, I will go ahead and buy a crystal. War store, again, I'm pretty much exclusively just farming Ghost for Jubilee's return. Elite store, I just kind of take a look, see if there's anything worth spending my 100 credits on, which there is not. And then the Ion store, again, that's trash. It's not worth buying, so nothing in there. Other things I'll do for the day is I'll go in and I get my challenges in for the day. And, what I'll periodically do is, I'll look at my challenges and see if it's something that I can maybe try to push a little forward. The last time I tried this, it didn't go so well, so I'm honestly not going to bother just to not eat up screen time. So I'm just going to go in, do my challenge refreshes. Certainly gear, not even just gear, but with all the bottlenecks, challenges are a way to definitely kind of alleviate some of that. If you are finding yourself really kind of short on training mats and you are not at the highest tier for training day, that's certainly something you can work on. Kind of the same thing. So, I mean, this is probably something I should be working on. I honestly haven't gotten around to it, but that's certainly a way to alleviate some of the bottlenecks. If you're short training mats, definitely try to get to the highest tier that you're able to do in training day. If you're short gold, kind of the same thing. T4s, there's always going to be a bottleneck. I wouldn't stress that too much. Obviously, the sooner you get to a higher tier, the more you'll get, but T4s are always going to be a bottleneck. It's just kind of the way it is. Next thing I'll do is I will go in and I will pop in a arena fight real quick. And essentially the logic behind this is it does take 15 minutes for that arena fight to refresh. And, depending on my mood, I kind of go about this one of two ways. Sometimes I'll just kind of go in and I just auto. If, I'm not really kind of feeling the fantasy of arena. Some people definitely take arena a lot more serious than I do, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of a personal preference. Mini is doing pretty well in arena. I'm normally in the top 50, which gets me kind of a nice supply of power cores, and which is always good. Lately, I've been kind of spending them quite irresponsibly, which is very much not like me. And it's just because I had such a large abundance that what I ended up doing was I would just kind of do a orb pull of Iceman. I did an orb pull of Bishop, and while I would never recommend that to a normal player, especially if you don't have a crazy abundance of power cores, but Mini was kind of in that situation where I think I had almost 6,000 power cores, and the number was just kind of like steadily increasing. So I figured, what the hell, why not? And I did go ahead and buy that. So for right now, I'm currently using my Symbiotes in the arena. They are my best team on Mini, and kind of based off of my arena shard. It's going to be very dependent on when you started the game and who's in your shard. But for my shard, the symbiotes actually do pretty well. That's definitely going to slowly change over time, especially as more people in my shard probably get access to the Black Order. That'll certainly switch up the way arena looks. But for right now, they do pretty good, and I am nowhere near Black Order ready, so that's kind of not on my scopes at the moment. So we'll just kind of keep doing my symbiotes, and if they do get to the point where they do start to fall off, I'll start to probably look at something else. Like I've mentioned in the past, Mini is free to play, with the exception of the RTA Battle Pass. So I don't ever want to get into a situation where I'm running out of power cores, and really the only place to get power cores as a free to play player is going to be in the arena. So if you are trying to stay more free to play friendly, definitely consider getting up as high in your arena shard as possible. Like I said, that's going to be very dependent on what your actual arena shard looks like, and no two shards are going to be alike. Obviously, if you are in an older arena shard, it can be a little harder to get higher up in the numbers, but just do the best you can, and that's just kind of one way to get some free power cores. So anyway, this fight is wrapping up. I think I actually might win this one. Just going to switch the target over to Yo-Yo and help the AI out a little bit. Would like to get Yo-Yo off the field, and then the team can basically focus fire on Emma Frost. She already is pretty dotted up, so I think we should be able to take her out pretty easily. And then we'll just kind of continue on with our normal daily playthrough. Next thing I'll normally do is after this fight is done, I will then go in and basically start spending my campaign energy. And, how you choose to spend your campaign energy, totally a personal preference. I kind of have, I wouldn't call it a strict regimen, but I've kind of got a system that I more or less follow on all three accounts, and typically what I will be doing is I will be farming typically two characters outside of my daily requirements of the villains and the heroes campaigns. So in Mini's case, I am farming Stature and Loki are the two characters that I'm farming outside of the daily requirements. And then Captain Marvel and Wasp are going to be part of my daily requirements. Captain Marvel fills the hero nodes, and Wasp fills the villain nodes. So I'll go in, I will get my stature shards, or hopefully get some stature shards. The characters I am purely farming, I do all 5 of their energy. And then depending on the hero and the villain character I'm farming, I'll either do just the minimum required just to get credit. So in Captain Marvel's case, I only do the 3. And then for Wasp, since I actually do really need her shards, I actually farm the whole thing for her as well. So I'll do 5. Okay, that's done. We will go on down to Loki. Now, the two characters you choose to farm, I would say totally up to you. I wouldn't be farming more than 3 characters outside of the heroes and the villains characters. So I, in theory, could add 1 more character to this rotation. However, I am really trying to build up some of my teams. So I really want as much campaign energy as possible to go to those teams. Looking at it, I am kind of building a faux astonishing X-Men team until I do unlock Jubilee on this account. And the reasoning behind that is I'm working my way through the Doom campaign. And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the X-Men that I do have, or the mutants in this case, and I am getting them to gear tier 12 because gear tier 11 wasn't cutting it. And then I'm also taking them to level 65. So Beast, I am currently working on to get him to gear tier 12. If I do either equip a piece of gear or level up a character significantly, I will try the Doom node again, just to kind of see where I'm at. Also, for my ISO 8 energy, for my initial thing, just because, campaign energy is only so abundant, I'll actually go in and I will farm the gear as well. And then once I kind of farm these 2 gear nodes, then I switch over to my ISO 8 character farming. But anyway, so we'll equip that to Beast. I'm going to save myself a little bit of energy because I do want to actually give that Doom node a shot. Because I will be taking X23 a little bit higher. I believe it is a 10 node, but we're going to keep 25 energy just in case it is not. So boom, we got that done. Next thing I'm going to go in, I am going to then try to boost up X23 just a little bit. And all right, boom, we got X23 to level 65, which is awesome. So boosted her up about 1k. Nothing too crazy, but let's go see how I do in that Doom campaign now. Typically what I like to do is I'll try, either once a day, just to kind of see if I've made any progress. And really the idea behind this is I don't want to spend any more resources than I need to. And what I mean by this is that, building up several teams essentially, I don't want to be putting in any more resources than I have to, for the simple fact of that I'm really just trying to do this to clear through the Doom campaign to get some nodes on farm. So if it's not particularly a node that I need to farm and I just need to complete it, really my goal is just to get at least 1 star. You don't get penalized for only getting 1 star on a node if it's not a node you need to farm. So kind of what I'm working on with Mini, it's kind of a dual situation, but I am trying to get, I believe it's Doom 3.6 is where Yellow Jacket is located. I want to get Yellow Jacket on farm, just so when Jubilee does come around again, I am planning to hopefully unlock her. And I think this will really kind of help Mini out and put me in a good spot. And then secondly, I also want to get more of my symbiote gear on farm, as my symbiote team is not quite cutting it in Ultima 7.2. They're doing okay if I play it manually. But I honestly don't want to be playing it manually if I can avoid it. So that's definitely something I am working on, and the only ways to really make a character stronger is either gear or levels outside of T4s. So I think that might help. If I get my symbiotes up to gear tier 14, I think they might be able to do a little bit better in the 7.2 nodes, and eventually we'll be moving on to 7.3. So any gear is going to basically help them. I also plan on taking them into Dark Dimension 3, as well as Dark Dimension 4 for the city nodes. So it's not like I'm wasting gear on them. This node, I seem to be running into the same problem. It's just they don't seem to have the firepower quite yet to be able to handle this. And yeah, so I mean, this is definitely this isn't going to go well. This is definitely a wipe on my end, but not bad. At least I can say I kind of tried it. See if I made any progress in Doom 1-1, which sadly I have not. But it's okay. You really kind of never know with these things until you test it out. There are some things I do need to change. With the Astonishing XMen on Mini's account, and that's really just because as I was playing around on Khaleesi, I've kind of come to some realizations with their T4s, and I have made some adjustments. So one thing that definitely sucks, for Mini anyway, is that I went pretty hard on the Striker ISO 8 for Kitty Pryde, and I'm actually liking Healer a lot better for Kitty Pryde. Now, this also changes a little bit with Jubilee, and, you know, Mini might not have Jubilee for a little bit, so I might leave her as a striker for the time being. I really haven't decided, but it's just another kind of indication of, you know, really not investing too hard into ISO 8 until you have the whole dynamic of the team figured out. So definitely an error on my part. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not going to cost me, I mean, it costs ions, obviously, but it's not a monetary cost. So, you know, let's see. So we did that. Typically, I'll go in now and I will check and see if it's been about 15 minutes. Which we're still about 2 minutes short. So what I'll do now is I will go in and I will do at least 1 or 2 raid fights. Going in, I honestly don't remember where Mini was with 7.2. I think, all right, boom. So we're still good symbiote-wise. No one's dead or anything like that. So as soon as this loads up, we will start this 7.2 fight and see how they do. They've been doing pretty good. I haven't really made much progress on my symbiotes. Honestly, there's not much to do on them right now. The nodes that I need for their gear, I don't have access to. So really all I can do at the moment is either upgrade their T4s or upgrade their levels, which they are all currently level 74, which is Mini's level, so they can't go any higher than that for the time being. So yeah, so they're kind of just hanging out at the top of my roster. I do have them favorited, as I am buying gear in the various stores. If stuff does pop up, I am equipping them. I do have an equip priority, so I'm looking at Symbiote Spider-Man is kind of my first and foremost. Following Symbiote Spider-Man, I then go on over to Anti-Venom. Following Anti-Venom, I'm looking at Carnage, and then Scream, and then lastly Venom. And just the kind of logic, I guess, behind that is Symbiote Spider-Man definitely creates a lot of passive healing for this team, so I want him to be able to last as long as possible. You know, secondly, in case something does go wrong, I want Anti-Venom lasting as long as possible as well for his res component. Nextly, Carnage, his speed up mechanic is super important, and then Scream kind of does a little bit of everything, where she does a little bit of speed up, a little bit of healing, and then Venom is just last on the list because, you know, you could actually sub him out for another character and it doesn't make too much of a difference. He's definitely, amongst the symbiotes, he is definitely the weakest of the 5, but still a really good character. So, boom, we'll go in, we will finish off this fight. I think it was yesterday, I was having some awful RNG, and I wiped on node A7. I have been able to make it up to the second to last boss node, which for my lane is going to be the War Machine node. So I have been able to make it up there, which is pretty cool. Again, it is playing on manual, which is not my favorite, just because I like to be able to auto it and call it a day. But doing what I have to for Mini right now, and I mean, that is perfectly fine. We're at the point, if you've watched any of my Ultimus videos, when I get to this point, I am basically just I basically basic the nodes to death, and that's basically just to make sure I have all of my abilities available for my next node, which I accidentally just clicked there, so that is unfortunate, but still plenty of turns left. I should actually be able to get Scream close back up to having her ultimate available, and just the real reason behind this is with 7.2 going in with weaker symbiotes, you want all those ultimate abilities as soon as possible. You want a full turn of debuffs on the enemy. That way you can flip them all with anti-venom for your actual team. And it just gives them a lot more survivability. In the unlikely event that someone gets nuked kind of on that first turn, you've got Anti-Venom's res available, because, depending on who they decide to nuke can really hurt the team. But yeah, so that's just kind of my basic 7.2 strategy. What I'll also do too is, since, when I woke up, my raid energy was maxed out, I do want to always be kind of accumulating raid energy. So since I did my one Ultimus fight, I want to then switch over and do my Greek raid fight. In this case, it's Gamma. And the reasoning behind that is while your energy is maxed out, you are not gaining any energy. And you always want to be gaining energy. This will be interesting for Mini. The last time we did the Gamma raids, I did not have any XMen really built up. So Mini does have kind of a baby XMen team kind of going as I'm trying to progress through Doom 1.1. So we'll see kind of how they do. I haven't had a chance to play them out in Gamma. Kind of lucky, I guess, in the sense where my raid partner is myself, and Mini typically follows Dracarys, so kind of any nodes that Mini gets sloppy on, Dracarys can normally clean it up for me. So it's nice to basically have yourself as a raid partner. Definitely a unique situation. A lot of people don't have alts and aren't insane like I am. But so that's always kind of fun to just be able to kind of back yourself up. Mini is not doing very well on this node, and I mean, that's to be expected. This is, I think it's Gamma 3.5, so it's definitely going to be the harder of the threes. We are running this to basically get the first time completion, which is always awesome rewards, and without a full astonishing X-Men team, Kitty Pryde doesn't really function quite the same. And that team, really the only synergy they have was just being X-Men. So anyway, not too bad though. Mini is probably out of gas for this particular raid. What I will do is... you can see up here the raid ends in 3 hours and 36 minutes. So if I do get close to the 50 mark again, I will spend that energy just so I am never kind of capped out, because you don't ever want to be capped out with your raid energy. Other things, so then what I would do next is I would then go in and I would do a secondary arena fight. As you can see, my energy has refreshed. Once I did finish that secondary arena fight, I would then go in, do a blitz rotation. Once the blitz rotation was done, I would then check to see where I was as far as arena energy, as far as like time-wise. If I hadn't reached the 15-minute mark, I would then go in and do another U7.2 node. Once I kind of finish all that U7 stuff, hopefully I should be close to being done with all of my arena fights for the day. If I'm not, kind of in between that, I would then go in and do my 2 real-time arena fights as well. And, the season isn't going on right now, so I just kind of pick a team and auto it. But yeah, so I mean, it's just kind of a quick little daily playthrough. Just kind of what Mini does on a regular basis. And I mean, I do the same stuff on the other two accounts. Khaleesi, Jakaris all follow a similar formula. So yeah, that's just kind of a quick little daily playthrough. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you found this video helpful and just kind of, I guess, the style. Please like and subscribe if you did. Join MiniKhal's Kalasar. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a good one, and take it easy.
Yeah!